Hello, we are Sammy, Beckham, and Alan from the English department at Furen Catholic University. The topic of our group is the influence of Instagram and Threads on English department students of Furen Catholic University, an emphasis on usage behavior and its impact on daily life and privacy concerns. First, there is some basic information about Instagram and Threads. Instagram and Threads are the two most popular social media platforms among university students, which is why we choose these two applications to do the research. Instagram was launched in 2010, and it is a platform for sharing photos and videos. However, Threads was launched in 2023, and it is an open sharing space based on words. Next, let us focus on our research purposes. First, we want to explore the usage behaviors of English department students on Instagram and Threads, including their main purposes and habits of using these platforms. Second, we want to investigate students' awareness and attitudes toward privacy concerns that arise from using these social media applications. Our thesis statement is, the more often students use Instagram and Threads, the more their daily lives will be affected, and their ability to maintain privacy while using Instagram and Threads may also be questioned. In addition, we listed 3 research questions that are related to our topic. 1. What are the usage habits of students on Instagram and Threads? How do these applications influence their daily lives? 2. When students use social media, what measures can they take to protect their online safety? 3. What strategies can students adopt to reduce negative effects while still benefiting from social media use? Next, let us move on to our survey analysis. First of all, let us focus on the personal profile. The total number of responses is 50, and there are more female respondents than males. Also, the majority of participants are juniors and seniors. The second part of the survey is about usage behavior. The first question is, which platform do you use more frequently? The result shows that 33 students use Instagram more frequently, while 4 students use Threads more frequently. Second question, how often do you use Instagram? We can see that 41 students use Instagram several times a day. The third question, how often do you use Threads? The data demonstrates that 22 students use Threads several times a day, while 19 students rarely or never use Threads. Moving up to the fourth question, what is your purpose for using Instagram? This question is a multi-select question. The research indicates that 42 students use Instagram for entertainment or relaxation, and only 12 students use Instagram for academic or study-related purposes. As for the fifth question, what is your purpose for using Threads? Students can select all that apply in this question. The observation reveals that 29 students use Threads for entertainment and relaxation, and only 5 students use Threads for sharing personal posts or photos.
The third part of our survey's analysis is for how social media impacts our daily life and privacy concerns. The first question, do you set up any privacy function on Instagram? More of the students respond that they have set up the functions. Next question, do you set up any privacy function on Threads? Almost half of our participants set up privacy function on Threads. In the following 2 questions, we provide multiple options, such as private account, blocking user, and restricting user. The question is, which privacy function do you use on Instagram? There are 34 students who have set up private account, while there are only 12 students who do not use these functions. The next question is, which privacy function do you use on Threads? The results are quite different from Instagram. There are 28 students who do not use any privacy function on Threads. In the following question, we provide a statement, and respondents have to decide whether they agree or disagree with the statement. The first statement is, I feel safer when sharing personal contacts online because I have set up privacy functions. There are 70 students who agree that they feel safer under the protection of privacy functions. The next statement is, I am concerned that Instagram and Threads may collect or use too much of my personal data. There are also 17 students who agree that social media platforms may collect personal data. The next statement is, I have learned new information or gained inspiration from Instagram and Threads. There are 27 participants who agree that they can learn new information from social media. The last statement of this session is, I sometimes feel distracted or waste time because of using Instagram and Threads. There are 22 students who strongly agree that they feel distracted by using social media. The final section of the survey's analysis. In this part, we also provide multiple options for students to respond, including decreasing the use of time, seeking help online or surrounding people, or ignoring the problem. The first question is, when you realize that Instagram or Threads affect your concentration on studies, what would you do? An overwhelming majority decrease their usage time, demonstrating a high level of self-discipline. The next question is, when you observe that social media platforms are wasting your time, what would you do? The majority decrease their usage, with almost no one choosing to seek external help.
Hi, this is Alan. So in the last part of our research, we're going to discuss more about our collected data and its relationship with our thesis statement and research questions. The first section is a discussion. In this page, we can see that frequent student use of Instagram and Threads negatively impacts their daily life and privacy. If we look at the two graphs at the bottom of the page, key findings show significant concern over both learning behavior, with 17 participants strongly agreeing that they delay tasks or assignments, and about privacy, with another 14 participants strongly agreeing that they fear the platform's personal data collection. So this key finding actually supports our hypothesis, which claim the more often students use Instagram and Threads, the more their daily lives will be affected. So linking back to our research questions, the first research question is, what are the usage habits of students on Instagram and Threads? How do these applications influence their daily lives? So we asked participants what their purpose of using Instagram and Threads is. For Instagram, people are mainly using Instagram for entertainment or relaxation. As for Threads, the majority of participants use Threads for entertainment and relaxation as well. However, the second highest answer is getting news or information, which is actually something that exceeds our expected answers. Furthermore, we asked participants this question. I sometimes feel distracted or waste time because of using Instagram and Threads. From the graph in the middle, over 60% of participants claim that they feel distracted due to the use of Instagram and Threads. So, from the result, this finding is highly relevant to our hypothesis, showing that there will be a negative consequence of frequent social media use, in this case, Instagram and Threads. Research question number 2. When students use social media, what measures can they take to protect their online safety? From the survey results, respondents tend to set their Instagram and Threads account to private in order to protect their online safety and data. Also, there are about 20 respondents who have used this function before, such as blocking and restricting other users on these two social media platforms, Instagram and Threads. Okay, thank you so much for listening.